Story number one. This story comes to us from Scotland, and a member of a very successful paranormal research team reached out to us in an email. We connected via phone at her request. Eileen relayed the following story to us: The Haunting of Gallow Hill. In the ancient woods of Dunatar, nestled in the Scottish countryside, lies Gallow Hill, a place steeped in history and haunted by the echoes of its gruesome past. The hill stood as the final resting place for many condemned souls who met their fate at the hands of a fearsome hangman in the 1800s. Workers planting trees uncovered a gruesome surprise: the bones of these executed criminals. But the hill's dark history didn't end there. The gallows had been built on a 3,000-year-old burial mound, once considered sacred by prehistoric people. These seasoned ghost hunters from Scotland, Eileen, Calum, and Fergus, decided to investigate the haunted legends of Gallow Hill. Armed with their equipment and insatiable curiosity, they set out on a misty autumn evening, determined to uncover the truth behind the tales. As they approached the hill, the air grew colder, and an eerie silence enveloped the woods. The moon cast long shadows, adding to the ominous atmosphere. Eileen, the group's historian, recounted the hill's grisly past, sending shivers down their spines. They reached the top of Gallow Hill, where the remains of the old gallows still stood, a stark reminder of the countless souls who had perished there. Calum, the tech expert, set up their equipment: thermal cameras, EVP recorders, and EMF meters, while Fergus, the skeptic, surveyed the area with a critical eye. As the night deepened, the team began their investigation. Eileen held a seance, hoping to connect with the spirits of the past. The air grew heavy, and a chilling breeze swept through the clearing. The EMF meters began to spike, and the thermal cameras picked up strange, cold spots around the gallows. Suddenly, a faint whisper echoed through the darkness: "Help us." The voice was barely audible, but it sent a jolt of fear through the team. They huddled together, their breaths visible in the frigid air. Fergus, despite his skepticism, couldn't deny the eerie sensation that surrounded them. Calum played back the EVP recordings, and the whisper was clearer: "Help us. Free us." The voice seemed to belong to multiple spirits, their anguish palpable. Eileen felt a surge of empathy for the trapped souls and decided to perform a ritual to help find them peace. As Eileen recited ancient words of release, the wind picked up, howling through the trees. The air grew even colder, and they felt a presence moving around them. She continued the ritual, her voice steady despite the fear gnawing at her. The ghostly voices and presence they felt slowly faded into the night, their whispers of gratitude lingering in the air. The ghost hunters claimed they could feel the oppressive weight that had hung over Gallow Hill for centuries seemed to dissipate, replaced by a quiet, serene stillness. The team packed up their equipment, their hearts heavy with the weight of their experience. As they made their way back through the woods, the eerie silence was replaced by the gentle rustling of leaves and the distant hoot of an owl. Dunatar Woods seemed to breathe a sigh of relief, the spirits of the past finally at rest. The ghost hunters returned to town, forever changed by their encounter. They shared their story, and the legend of Gallow Hill grew, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the power of compassion to heal even the deepest wounds of history. Do you believe in ghosts? Story number 2, an encounter on Highway 95. This comes to us from Tom, an individual living in the Nevada desert out by Indian Springs. He contacted our team via email as well, and we actually met in person, and this is the story that he relayed to us. Indian Springs, Nevada is a quiet town nestled in the shadow of the vast desert, located near the infamous Area 51 in Dreamland. It is no stranger to rumors and whispers of otherworldly activity. One crisp evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Tom decided to take a late drive along Highway 95 heading out of Indian Springs. He enjoyed the solitude of the open road, the hum of his car's engine, and the endless expanse of the desert under the starlit sky. It was a routine drive he had made countless times, but tonight would be different. As he cruised along the highway, a strange light caught his eye. At first, he thought it might be a distant plane or a reflection, but the light was too bright, too erratic in its movements. He slowed down. Curiosity piqued. The light danced in the sky, zipping from one point to another in a way no aircraft could. It seemed to hover, then dart across the horizon, only to vanish and reappear in an instant. Tom decided to pull over to the side of the road, stepping out of his car for a better look. The desert was eerily silent. The only sound was the occasional rustle of the wind through the sagebrush. The light grew brighter, and Tom felt a strange sensational mix of awe and fear. He fumbled for his phone, hoping to capture the phenomenon, but the device refused to work, its screen flickering before going dark on him. As the light approached, Tom's heart pounded in his chest. It descended slowly, revealing a sleek, metallic craft hovering just above the highway. It was unlike anything he had ever seen, its surface smooth and seamless, reflecting the stars above. The air around it hummed with an otherworldly energy. Tom felt a sudden urge to run, but his legs were rooted to the spot. This craft emitted a soft, pulsating glow, casting an eerie light across the desert. A low hum filled the air, growing louder and more intense. Just as quickly as it had appeared, the craft shot upwards, disappearing into the night sky with a speed that defied logic. Tom stood there, breathless and trembling. The desert was silent once more, but he knew he had witnessed something extraordinary. He got back into his car, his mind racing with questions and possibilities. As he drove back to Indian Springs, he couldn't shake the feeling that he had been chosen, that he had seen something meant to remain hidden. When he returned to town, Tom shared his experience with a few close friends. They listened in awe, some skeptical, others believing every word. The encounter became a topic of hushed conversations and late-night debates. Some suggested it was a secret military test, while others believed it to be genuine extraterrestrial encounter. Tom knew what he had seen. It changed him. He spent hours researching UFO sightings and strange occurrences, becoming an amateur investigator of the unknown. His encounter on Highway 95 became a defining moment, a story that would be told and retold, fueling the mystery and wonder of Indian Springs, Nevada. In the days that followed, Tom began noticing strange occurrences around him. Electronics malfunctioned in his presence, and he experienced vivid, unsettling dreams of alien landscapes and beings. One night he woke to find a strange symbol etched into his wrist, glowing faintly before fading away. He couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. Determined to find answers, Tom contacted a local UFO enthusiast group. They met at a diner on the outskirts of town. Tom recounted his experiences in detail. The group's leader, a seasoned investigator named Lisa, took a keen interest in the story. She believed his encounter might be linked to a series of unexplained sightings in the area. Together, they planned a return trip to the spot on Highway 95. Equipped with advanced cameras, electromagnetic sensors, and a renewed sense of determination, they set out into the desert night. The air was thick with anticipation as they retraced Tom's steps, hoping to catch a glimpse of the otherworldly craft. The team did not witness any UFO activity that evening, but per Tom, they will continue their hunt for the truth and evidence to back his claim up. Do you believe in UFOs? Even alien life forms visiting us here on Earth? Let us know in the comments below. Get my email and send our team your story for us to retell to the world. Story number 3, Shadows in the Night. This story takes us back to Washington State. Just outside Seattle sits a small mountain community. Layla is a retired Air Force officer and former pilot that has experienced UFO encounters while piloting U.S. aircraft for our military. Layla also requested to stay anonymous at this time until further truths are released by the U.S. government. She's a spirited and curious, mature woman. She lives in a cozy cabin nestled in the mountains just outside of Seattle, Washington. The tranquility of the forest and the stunning views of the night sky has always been a source of comfort and inspiration for her. But recently, a series of unsettling events had disrupted her peaceful life. This is what she shared with us. It began with strange shadowy figures appearing in her room at night. Layla would wake up in the early hours feeling an unshakable sense of dread. In the dim light, she would catch glimpses of dark shapes moving silently around her room, only to vanish when she turned the lights on. She tried to dismiss it as her imagination playing tricks on her, but the occurrences grew more frequent and vivid. One clear night, unable to sleep, Layla stepped out onto her porch to gaze at the stars. The crisp mountain air was calming, and she hoped it would help clear her mind. As she scanned the sky, a sudden flash of light caught her attention. She watched in astonishment as a formation of glowing disc-shaped objects darted across the sky in synchronized movements. They moved with speed and precision that no human-made aircraft could match. Her heart raced as the objects hovered for a moment, then shot off into the distance, disappearing behind the mountains. Layla's sense of wonder was mixed with a growing unease. She couldn't shake the feeling that the shadowy figures in the UFO sightings were connected. Determined to find answers, Layla began keeping a journal of her experiences. She was documenting each sighting and eerie encounter. She also set up a camera in her bedroom, hoping to capture evidence of the shadowy visitors. Nights were filled with anxiety as she waited for the next appearance. One night, Layla woke to the familiar sensation of being watched. She lay still, her breath shallow, and listened intently. The room was filled with a faint humming sound, and she could see the outlines of several shadowy figures surrounding her bed. Gathering her courage, she reached for the camera and clicked it on. The flash illuminated the room for a brief second, revealing the figures in startling clarity. They were tall, with elongated limbs and large, black eyes that seemed to bore into her soul. As the light faded, the figures dissolved into thin air, leaving Layla trembling and breathless. When she reviewed the footage the next day, her heart sank. The camera had captured nothing but static and faint shadows, as if the entities had somehow interfered with the device. Frustrated and undeterred, Layla reached out to a local UFO enthusiast group for help. The group, intrigued by her detailed accounts and apparent sincerity, agreed to investigate. They set up advanced monitoring equipment around her property, hoping to capture concrete evidence. Nights were spent in vigil, the team observing and waiting for signs of the mysterious visitors. One particularly clear night, the sky lit up once again with the familiar glow of the UFOs. The team watched in awe as the objects performed their otherworldly dance across the heavens. This time, their equipment captured high-resolution footage of the craft, providing undeniable evidence of their existence. Encouraged by their success, the group continued their investigation, delving deeper into the connection between the UFO sightings and the shadowy figures. Through their research, they uncovered reports of similar encounters in the region, suggesting that Layla was not alone in her experiences. As they pieced together the puzzle, a chilling realization emerged. The entities visiting Layla were likely extraterrestrial beings, drawn to the area by unique energy possibly emitted from the mountains. The group theorized that these beings were studying human behavior and physiology, using their advanced technology to manipulate their presence and avoid detection. Though the encounters continued, Layla found solace in knowing she was not alone. The support of the UFO enthusiast group gave her strength to face the unknown. Together, they shared their findings, with only the others experiencing the same for now. Layla's life has forever changed by her experiences, but for her and her newfound friends, they will keep investigating and sharing their stories with us, and promise to eventually share their evidence once the government releases more proof and comes clean on the subject. Do you believe these stories? Have you experienced anything like an alien encounter, possibly Bigfoot, or do you have a scary ghost story you would like us to share with the world on your behalf? Please connect, subscribe, and hit a thumbs up while you share us with your friends and families around the world. Thank you and be safe.